Welcome to All Round Mine. I'm George Lawton.
And I'm Arielle Free, and together we sit down with your favourite celebrities and find out all about their lives and their homes.
And don't forget that as well as listening to us, you can pop on over to Primark's YouTube channel, you can watch along, and you can have a little glimpse into the homes of our lovely celebs.
You can, and today we are glimpsing at a superhuman woman's home. She is a DJ, TV presenter, podcast host, entrepreneur, a mother to 3 beautiful children, and she does it so effortlessly.
It is the one and only Vogue Williams.
Hello.
Hey,
what an intro.
Looking fabulous.
Thank you very much. So are you guys?
Oh, thanks.
Very excited to have a nosy around your gaff.
I know. I'm excited to have you there.
Can we go around now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Great, let's head over.
Our sitting room is definitely one of our favourite areas in the house. This lamp is my friend's Boss Studio. They are amazing furniture designers and interior designers. We got this case custom made from Love Your Home. I would say we always have a lot of art everywhere. All of that is mine, bar the bird. So Spenny likes to say he doesn't like it, but I love it in the space. And I just recently got our coffee tables, which took me forever to decide upon. And then we have a nice colourful rug, a couple of side seats, and then these little poofs here that I think I'm going to put downstairs because they're kind of out of place there and the kids just love climbing on them. So that's all our little bits there. So this is our nursery. This is currently where Gigi sleeps, but TT did used to sleep here, and I just love how colourful it is. They both love animals, and Gigi will soon move out of here and then move into TT's room. I think she'll like staying there with him, and then this will be Otto's room. Our walls are mainly white, so we like to put loads of art on them. This is Gra means love in Irish, and I just like the colours of that one. This is a piece that I bought from a girl in New York. I love it. I love the way she does it. It's all laser cut stuff. It's so cool. And then this is another Damien Hirst thing that I bought. So art is a pretty big thing in our house. We have an awful lot of it. The lobster I'm always getting asked about. I adore, I'm actually terrified of lobsters, but I adore this Taxidermy Lobster. I just think it's so cool. We got it in St. Bart's. It was part of Spenny's birthday present. Well, he had to pay for half of it. So this is his lobster, but we love it. Larry the Lobster. More art just hanging around waiting to be hung. This is Conor Harrington, who I absolutely adore. Here is some more of our art downstairs, and you're going to see that it's not really finished down here yet. So this is like the office area. I'm going to blame this mess on my brother. More art, and that's where I do bits of filming. And this table is something that we had commissioned, and we absolutely love it. But as I said, it's not finished down here. We have a real sticking point with the floor. I despise the polished concrete, so I'm considering changing it soon. So we've nearly completed up here. This is a stairs we recently bought below, so it's just literally knocked through. This is our upstairs dining area. We used to have an enormous table, so this is about a quarter of the size and fits much better.
I love that.
Wow.
Did you say that was Gigi in the background?
Gigi screaming. So I had to try and film this last night. I was feeding Otto at the same time, and Gigi was like on the balcony screeching to get back into me. And I was just give me honestly 2 minutes. So that's her screaming.
I am obsessed with your home. It is absolutely incredible. Do you have room for me to move in, maybe?
No, do you know why? Because my brother and sister currently live with us. So if I bring one more person home, Spenny's going to kill me.
I'll tell you what, they can go back to my place. That's totally fine. And I'll just take their room. That's all right.
Fine.
We'll go
I
with
just
that.
want someone's there. I like the company.
Yeah, fine. I want to talk about your art because it's incredible. Where does your passion for art stem from?
I used to have a boyfriend who we're still really good friends, and he is an amazing artist. He's a really great street artist in Ireland, and he kind of points me in the direction of certain artists, and he owns a gallery. And I still get loads of great tips off him from up and coming artists, and then he kind of knows my style and things I like, and I see loads of stuff myself. And my place in Ireland is kind of the same. It's just filled. The walls are filled with art. Yeah.
I'm so envious of anyone who has that art knowledge because I just feel so clueless. I love the neon ones in your office, like there's eight pieces there, and they all kind of yeah.
That's I love that piece. Benny actually tried to send that back to. We own a place in Jersey. He tried to send that back there, and I was like,
absolutely not. No way.
That is staying where it is. I absolutely love that piece. It's amazing.
Yeah,
I think everyone needs an art expert friend in their life, because I see things that I really love, but I'm not really sure how to go about getting a similar vibe and that sort of thing. So I need someone to point me in the right direction.
I always feel with art, it doesn't matter like how much a piece costs. It matters how it makes you kind of feel. And like I look around my house and I see the art and I love it. Spenny actually hates that huge piece in the upstairs room, and I adore that artist. I've just bought another piece of his because I love it. But it's just how you enjoy it and how you look at it. And like I've bought pieces that have gone up in value, and like I just would never sell them because I haven't bought them to sell them. I've bought them because I love them and I like looking at them.
Yeah,
I love the gra piece that you had.
Yeah,
did you say that means
love in Irish?
Do you because I have a few Scottish phrases that I use within my life and whatnot, and I often have friends who don't know where they've come from and they pluck it there. As someone who's like got 3 kids, do you try and teach them a couple of Irish phrases, or not really?
I don't really know much Irish myself. So like Spenny asked me to talk to someone in Irish yesterday, and I was like, "Dia Gwitch, like, hello, how are you?" Not that much, but I like having little Irish pieces around the house. So I've another one that just says it'll be grand, and like they're the kind of pieces that like downstairs isn't finished, so all that art is going to be moved, and like everything is going to be changed down there.
I was going to ask you to teach us a few Irish phrases, but something tells me that that's not going to happen.
No, I don't think so.
It's got gra.
Gra, it's my lum. I like Cunasatatu. How are you?
Say that
What's
again.
that?
Cunasatatu. We don't really like speak Irish. Like some people do. Some areas have full speaking Irish. And we actually go, when we're in school, you go to this thing called the Gaeltacht, and you go down and you speak Irish, and you go down for 2 weeks and hang out with all your mates down at this camp, and no one learns any Irish. Loads of people get sent home because they keep getting caught speaking English. So that's the kind of way we learn Irish.
I can do sláinte.
Sláinte, there you go.
There you go. That's all you need.
That's a very handy one.
Yeah. So a lot of art that must require a lot of hanging. Are you doing the hanging of said artwork?
I don't do any of the hanging myself. And you know what? When I was actually videoing them, like I bought loads of those pieces when I had like zero money as well. And so like I'd have bought the piece and I'm looking at them framed so nicely, and I'm like, I couldn't afford the non-reflective glass. And now I look at it and I'm like, I'm trying to film it and that kills me. I'm like, do I change it? But I've been collecting that stuff for years.
I'm so stubborn. I have to hang my paintings myself. Like,
really?
Yeah, but then I'm not very good at it. So like there's some that like, and I use those Velcro things rather than like the nails and the moss and tie.
They don't fall off.
And you can see, no, but it's like sometimes you can kind of see a bit of Velcro hanging out, and it really annoys me. Like your reflective glass, the Velcro hanging out really annoys me. That sofa we need to talk about, because it's so comfy. And also you've got a nice little trip now. You all will comfortably like fit on that.
The sofa was hard work, I have to say, because we had this big sofa and it was a huge grey sofa and it was really comfortable. I am allergic to grey. I can hear Otto. I'm allergic to grey. So like I hated the sofa downstairs. And even though it was so comfy, like someone told me it was so expensive to upholster. So I was like, let's just get a new sofa. Then we got these other sofas, 2 separate ones. And I was like, they're lovely. They weren't lovely. They were really uncomfortable. They were so annoying and actually didn't work. And then this is sofa number 3. We actually got it made. It's a company called Love Your Home, and they actually do like loads of different sizes. We loved the colour. And I was like, what is your comfiest sofa? The biggest, comfiest sofa. And they're like, this one. I was like, that's the one we're getting.
Sofas stress me out a bit though, because you get the little fabric sample and you're like, I can't visualize what that's going to look like as an entire sofa within a space.
I know, even with that orange one, like, I mean, it's probably insulting to some people's eyes, but I love it.
I love that colour.
I love the bright colours.
You had like a panel on the arm as well. Was that like, it's like a wooden panel? Did that come with it, or is that just...
No, that was, I spotted that on someone's Instagram, and I was like, I need one of them because I like drink so much tea.
Yeah.
Plonk it all there.
Although I've spilt so much on my sofa by just balancing things on the armrest. So I think if I had that there, that would just encourage me to precariously balance more things.
That sofa is wipeable though.
Is it?
So I was just about to ask you, because it didn't look very childproof. What's the material?
Oh, it's kind of like a velvet.
It looked like velvet,
but literally the kids just get stuff all over it, and and it just wipes off.
Wow. You're about to
genius.
You're about to ensure that this company has got a back order for about 3 years now.
Yeah.
You mentioned that Gigi's going to be making the transition out of the nursery soon.
Yes.
How was that decision? Was it a difficult one to make?
Well, you know what? We do have an extra bedroom, but it doesn't work with the kids. So like T and Gigi are going to have to share a room. But T wakes up at 6:30 and Gigi sometimes she didn't get up till 9 yesterday.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, if he wakes her up, I'll kill him. Because like I don't want to have to like everybody get up at 6:30. So I'm going to wait to see how Otto sleeps, because he could be one of those children that sleeps till 7, and then I'll put Gigi and Otto in a room together and then figure it out like that. But yeah.
Well, congratulations on Otto, the latest edition.
Yeah, I'm waiting for him to scream and make noise. I can hear him over there.
He's making a few murmurs in the corner.
I can hear that it's Otto.
Sweet.
I love that you're obviously, you have your children with you, so you brought Otto to set today, and you now have 3, which is a lot.
Yeah.
And is it 3 under 4?
3 under 4. Yeah, well, T is still 3, so technically 3 under 3 still. Yeah, I know.
Have you managed to have any time to let your hair down yet? Have you had the girls over?
I've went out once, but it was really difficult to try and organise childcare and everything like that. I'm going out for a dinner this week, and I'm going to dinner at 5:30. I have to be back. I have to be in bed. But it's funny though, because I took a break from my own podcast, and like they were like, just take a break, relax. And I was like, what do you think I'm doing at home? I was like, this is so hard. Give me 2 hours off to go and do a podcast. Yeah. No, but it's amazing. I love the madness. Like, I think people would really struggle to be in our house sometimes, because we kind of have a revolving door. Like, anybody can come in whenever they want. And like, we've always got friends over. The house is always full of kids. And some people don't like that, but our house is not a quiet house.
No, but you do need some time to yourself, as you've said. Do you have any sort of specific rituals or anything that you do to just try and sort of have a bit of time for yourself?
Do you know what? When I train, I know that sounds ridiculous, but like that's when I have time to myself, even though I'm with my trainer usually. But like I go out for a walk, and like even this morning, I had to go to the passport office, very boring. But like I walked for 40 minutes and I was like, this is really nice to just be out on my own, even though I had Otto with me. He wasn't saying much. So that was my quiet time.
Yeah.
It's been 5 years since you and Spencer had your first date, I believe. Is that right? Or
yes.
A lot's changed since then. How has having 3 kids like changed the dynamic of like your home and your like socialized together?
Well, Spenny said to me the other day, he was like, you have been pregnant or breastfeeding for over half of our relationship. And I was like, I have. I actually have. And I was like, if we have another one, I'm taking like a long break now, because I must be the moaniest pregnant person, because I find it so hard and I'm so sick. And he's like, you're not money. And then I have the baby. He's like, yeah, you're a moany. But like
he's well trained, because he knows not to say to very hormonal women. Too
right. Yeah. No, but our relationship is like, we're not big partiers anymore. He doesn't drink at all anymore. So like a night in for us is just like watching a bit of TV and just chilling, or else we go out for dinner, or I prefer lunch because I can go to bed early. But I still drink, so I still go out the odd time with my sister and stuff like that.
You did just mention though, if you were to have another one, obviously there's the phrase 1 and done, 2 and through, but how many kids is enough for you?
I love babies. I love being surrounded by the kids. But it's kind of difficult even at the moment to get them all into. I flew back to Dublin and it was like doing a marathon, honestly. Yeah, so it was just like, my stepdad was asking me today, he'd asked me to do something and I was like, what do you think I was doing yesterday? I was like, I was traveling with children. I had no time to do anything else.
Were you on your own traveling with the 3?
No, I had someone with me, thank God.
I know, that's almost impossible.
Yeah. No, my sister flies back. So poor Amber, I don't know how she does it. I'm like, how do you want to be in this house? But no, I don't know how many I do. I definitely wouldn't have more than 4, but I find it really sad to think of never having another baby. So I'm always like, maybe I'll have more.
Maybe one more.
Maybe one more. Maybe we'll be fine with 3.
I did like, you mentioned about going to Dublin, because you're saying Spencer wants to go to LA and you're like, absolutely not now. 9-hour flight?
Oh my God, I've been looking into like houses to stay in LA and everything. And I was like, yeah, we'll go to LA because Spenny can do his work. And then I flew to Dublin. I was like, I'm not going to LA. No way. I was like, you have no idea what it's like. And I rang him. He's like, go on. I was like, not a hope. No way. No. And because it's like, even if he's on the flight, they all want to be with me. So it's like, I'm literally I'll look at him sometimes and he's sleeping and I'm like, how is he sleeping?
And not only will you have to deal with the wrath of your children, but also the other passengers that will be giving you the eyes throughout the whole flight.
9 hours, not for me. We'll go somewhere closer.
If you were to provide one piece of advice to other people, though, maybe a bit of a pregnancy hack for when they've got a little one on the way, maybe it's like a special food. I actually had a friend that when she was pregnant couldn't stop eating sweet corn with melted chocolate and said that was the key to pregnancy. So maybe it's something like that, or something a bit more sensible.
I used to love a dip dab. Like I ate dip dabs
Really?
every day during pregnancy. And even when I think of them now, I'm like, God, I'd have a dip dab now if there was
They're
one here.
really hard to get hold of, no?
No, Amazon. Yeah. They have anything on there. It's the only
On the subscribe and save.
I've got I think I bought a box of 50 because it was and I have so many left now, and I'm like, I don't really want a dip dab anymore. But with pregnancy, God, what advice? I think that people who suffer from morning sickness kind of suffer in silence, and they don't really say anything, or they don't want to take any tablets. And I had really bad hyperemesis gravidarum, so I was sick all day, every day. And I didn't want to take tablets. I remember my first pregnancy, my doctor was like, just take the tablets. And they are like a lifesaver.
Oh, really?
Just get yourself the tablets and you'll just feel so much better. Yeah. And there's also a prescription for heartburn tablets that no one told me about until very late into my first pregnancy. And that is like, that's the kind of stuff I want to have in my medicine, like covered anyway. I'm like, just for like spicy days. like I need that.
See, that seems like considerably better advice than sweet corn with melted chocolate, to be honest with you.
Good advice. Yeah. And then you've got some left over for those really bad hangover days.
Perfect. Great.
Did you ever think that when you met Spencer, because he was notorious as the Bachelor on Meghan and Chelsea, that 5 years later you would have 3 kids and be married and talking about heartburn tablets?
No, do you know what? I was so happily single when I met Spenny, and I think that when you get to a place like that, you end up meeting somebody. But I was really having a great time. I have to say, I was having a great time, and I didn't want to be with anyone. And for ages, like, because we met in the jump, and I was like, no, I don't want to. We're only friends.
Of course.
So I was telling everyone we're only friends for a long time, and it was only in the March, so we met each other in December, that I was like, okay, maybe we should probably give it a go, because we just keep going back to each other, and like, so that's what happened with that.
And you brought Otto with you today. Is there, and you're quite you're quite outspoken about bringing your baby to work and being able to have that freedom as a mother. Do you think it really can help women's lives, being able to have that freedom and not judgment of bringing a baby on set or to work and whatnot?
Do you know, I think it's like even coming here and being able to bring Otto, and someone's rocking him over there as we're here. And like, I just think it's nice that people are so willing to allow mothers to get back to work and allow them to live their life and have more of a, like, actually you can do both. And even when I was pregnant, I was filming a TV show for E4, and like, I was really heavily pregnant when I was about to start filming it, and they were like, we want to make this work for you if you're comfortable. And I was like, because I was worried, I was like, I wonder if they'll just tell me that they want somebody else to do it and they'll take the job away from me. But they made it really, really workable, and like, I was able to do the whole thing, and I was delighted. And it's nice when you work with people like that. And even when I do the Steph show, like, they make it work for me to bring the baby, and it's nice that companies are getting back into it. So thank you very much.
Sure.
It's brilliant to hear that you've had such a good experience. But do you think there is still a way to go in terms of sort of accepting mothers with little ones?
Oh, 100%. I mean, there's some things, like, I remember when I first got pregnant with Theodore, and I was working with a big brand, like, and we had just come to the point where we were renewing our contract. We'd gone through the whole contract, and then it came out that I was pregnant, and they just dropped me. And I remember I was so upset.
Oh my gosh.
And I was I was really upset about it. And I was just waiting for like all these other companies to start dropping me, and they didn't. It was only that one. But I just think it's like, people are kind of scared of pregnant people. They just think we're going to break or something. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
But like, even when I was pregnant and I'm like lifting weights and like doing all these deadlifts, people are like, you shouldn't be doing that. I'm like, go lift Theodore and see how heavy he is. Like, I'm going around lifting him. Like, I'm able to do it.
Yeah. I love that. You have got 3 kids now. You've got one that's a little bubba. The other 2, one's in nursery, is it? And
Theodore's in nursery. He's 3, and Gigi is an absolute tyrant. She's 18. She's nearly 2. She's 2 in July.
So you're soon, I suppose Theodore's soon going to be going to school.
Yeah. So, well, he has another year. He like was born at a really good time. So he's another year in nursery. And then Gigi goes to nursery in September.
Right.
You've had them all at home with you. You worried about them now not going to be like being there every day and every hour of the day?
I do love them being at home, and that's why I'm lucky. Like, we do have help at home, and like, I do a lot of work from home, so I can like go take Gigi to her class if I'm not working, and I can do loads of stuff like that. And I would miss them when they're gone, but Gigi will only be gone a couple of mornings a week, and T just loves nursery and he just needs to be,
brilliant.
yeah, he needs to be out doing stuff with all his pals.
Yeah.
So like, I'd never send them to boarding school though.
No.
I couldn't do it.
No.
We know someone who tried to send their girl to boarding school, Paloma, and she hated it, didn't she, for a week? And she was absolutely not.
She didn't like the bed or something. She's like, I'm not sleeping there.
Yeah. I genuinely couldn't think of anything worse. I don't think. When I was a little one going into school, I remember like waving at my mum through the window in the classroom and just crying for ages.
I know,
I was
you'd
so
be
upset.
Do you think you'd miss them too much? Is that why you wouldn't?
I think I would, but if they wanted to go, I'd let them, because my brother went to boarding school. I remember being really upset when my parents sent him to boarding school, and he absolutely loved it. And Spenny went and he absolutely loved it. And I think some kids like it from secondary school, from 13, because they just feel like more independent and they like being around their friends, but hopefully mine won't. So I can keep them at home.
And when it comes to your little ones growing into not so little ones, do you think you'll keep that philosophy of letting them get out and do what they want and follow their own paths? Or
follow their own paths to an extent, obviously. I have my stepdad is Scottish and he's super strict. I just associate strictness with Scottish people now. Because he's been
terrifying you.
Don't lose your temper with me. But no, he's been like in my life since I was 6 or 7, and he has always like, he's been very strict with us, but like I think it was a nice way to be brought up, and I think that you kind of bring your children up the way that your own parents brought you up. So like I never got away with anything.
So does that mean you're strict with your kids?
Yeah, I would be they're too young to be super strict, but like strict enough as it is. I don't want them being spoilt or like, but like I remember we took T to Disneyland and Gigi, and like they had the time of their lives, and he was just in a bad mood, and I was like, did you love that? No. And I was like, you little. And then I was thinking, when was I grateful for something in my life towards my parents? Probably in my when I was like 25.
Yeah.
So they're going to be ungrateful till they're about 25.
Yeah, that's it. I've got this really, I don't know, it's this persistent memory that I have from when I was like, I don't know, 7 years old or something. I was just in one of these tantrums, and I remember I was sitting on the stairs, just really upset, didn't want to do anything. Yeah. And my mum came up to me and was being so lovely and saying all these different things that we could go and do. She's like, we can go and look at the neighbours' chickens. I'm sure they've got some eggs we can go and look at. But I was in this massive mood, and I was just like, no, I don't want to do anything. And I look back on that now, and I'm like, that was so lovely. I wish that I'd have just been nicer to my mum.
We all
really
do it
though.
though.
See the chickens.
I'd love to see some chickens.
Yeah, I want to see how many eggs there are.
Yeah.
Now you, we're talking about lifestyles, and you work so much, and obviously you're a working mom, but you do it looking so fabulous and constantly glowing. Is this because you're using all of your own amazing products? I'm a big fan of your fake tan. Where did you find the time?
I love the tan, but I have none on at the moment. Shockingly, no, I've none on. Where do I find the time? Everything is kind of spread out. So like I'm working on loads of different things at different times, but like it probably seems like it's all happening at once. But like I'll design my clothing collection at one point. We're shooting for it next week, and then I'll do stuff for it around that. And then everything kind of slots in, and I'm working with people that I really want to work with and doing things that I really want to do. So you'll always make time for it. Yeah. But I also am at home a lot, and I get to spend a lot of time with my kids, and like I don't like spending too much time away from them. I'm going to be shooting a TV show this summer, and Otto's going to have to come with me, but I'm in a lucky position that I'll be able to bring someone with me that can mind him while I'm filming. So yeah, I just kind of work. I'm very organized. I think that's why it works.
Yeah, you must be
hyper organized.
Does Spencer help you as well? Is he like really good with like?
Yeah, he's great with the kids, but he works. He's more of a 9 to kind of. Well, I'd say 5, not 5, but 9 to whatever. He's like more of an officey job now. He's currently away filming though. Which isn't great because I've had to be up on my own all the time. But no, it's fine. But like he's usually like there all the time, and he's very helpful with the kids. So that's always good.
So does that mean when you're at home working, there's less like fabulous hair and glam and tan, but then when you're out in the big bad world, it's like, okay, it's time to get it into action?
Oh, I didn't do this myself. Your guys did that. Yeah, I did not look like this when I arrived. Came in with like matted hair. I knew I was getting my hair done today, so I was like, great, I won't even dry it.
The funny thing is that's absolutely not true. You look stunning when you walked in.
I was going to say, exactly.
No, I don't go around looking like this. But I do, even with my tan, and we have this serum, and like I put that on last night, so I don't look so dead in the morning. Because when I first had Otto, I just looked so wrecked, and I was like, I'm actually embarrassed to like go out like and just be seen like this. So like fit a tan on the face and you're sorted.
Yeah, I like a good like tan in the face.
But going back to being like organized with your time, do you have to be quite strict in terms of like what you allow into your diary and saying yes and no to various things?
Yeah. I say no to a lot of things, but I say yes to things that I really, really want to do. And I, like, you know, if a brand comes towards you and you're like, I really want to work with that brand, that's amazing. It's something I've always wanted to do. And that was kind of the reason I gave up my radio show. I just didn't have the time. It was just taking, like, I loved it, but it was taking a day, like, because I was so tired by the time I got back to the kids. And I was like, I need one day where I can just have a day off fully. So that's why I kind of took a step back from that.
And lots of your work you can do from home, like your podcast. How do you find working from home versus going out somewhere?
I kind of, to be honest with you, it's so much easier, but I do like being, because when I do my podcast with Spen, he's obviously there, and it's much better when you're in person together. But Joanne, who I do my other one with, she's flying around like all over the country all the time. It's much better when we're together. So I'm seeing her actually this week for the first time in ages. We're going to be in the same place. But it works as well if you have to do it remote, and it's super handy.
I like how you're just taking advantage of the situation, though, like you say, because Joanne's with you.
Yeah,
you're like, right, okay, let's squeeze in time to like do a podcast.
We'll do it this week.
We know it works that way.
Yeah.
Do the kids have many hobbies?
Yeah,
everything.
Like, it's ridiculous. So they go swimming. Well, T goes swimming once in nursery. I take them on a Saturday, and then Gigi has another class. I'm really into their swimming because I want them to be able to swim. Spenny was like, he actually said to me one day, he was like, but I go to the kids swimming with you because I know you love it. And I was like, you think I love getting in that pool? It's the worst swimming pool ever.
Oh, really?
It's hideous. I was like, I can't believe you think I enjoy it. I enjoy that they enjoy it, but like I don't love having to get in the pool. But she does something called monkey music. T has tennis today.
What is monkey music, please?
Monkey music, great crack.
Is it?
T has done it, and they love it. It's just like they go and they sing songs, and like they have all their musical instruments, and they just really enjoy it.
Do they have any places still available? Can I?
They do
up?
actually. They do. Yeah,
future rock stars, maybe. Is that what they learn? Like to like
It's so funny though. They do love it, but there's endless classes that you can do for kids. But we spend a lot of time outdoors with them.
Yeah,
and like in the park and stuff like that. So
your kids are going to be those annoyingly talented ones that are good at everything at school. I can feel it already. And you're quite annoyingly talented as well, to be honest, Vogue, because what a transition. Because you've done kind of everything already. You've done modelling. You're an entrepreneur. You've
DJ'd
Oh,
done before.
DJ'd. You've got your own podcast, but now you're dipping your toe into something else because apparently that's not enough. And you're writing a kids' book, right?
Yes, I've written. It's all written. It's done and dusted. We actually, I first had the conversation about that. See, this is what I mean about fitting everything in. So that conversation happened pre-COVID,
right?
Just before COVID, and it's kind of been going on since then. And I've always wanted to do something like that because, like, reading in our house is a huge, huge thing. It's just we do it every day. T would have you sit there and read them 100 books if you would, and we do bedtime stories every single night. And I know what I'd love for my kids to read, and that's what I wanted to put into a book. And it's very exciting that it's going to be coming out.
When's it coming out?
I actually don't know the exact date.
And can you tell us anything about it?
It is called Jump for the Stars.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Great.
Love
Good title.
that.
Yeah. And I love the girl that illustrated it. And even with books, like I didn't know that you have to wait, like the illustrators are all booked up, like the amazing ones. And so you have to wait ages for one that you'll love. So because we had so much time during COVID and everything, we got her, and she's amazing. Great. And I love what she's done.
Great.
So did you road test the story and the illustrations on the kids? Are they fans?
I didn't do the illustrations. Oh, did I road test with them? I road tested with T, yeah.
Okay.
Because Gigi only just started getting into books about 6 months ago, but T, yeah, he loved it.
Did you get some honest feedback?
I did. That's all you get off them, yeah. No, he was nice about it because he didn't know it was mine.
That's the best test, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
I love that. Imagine if you turn around and went, "Oh, Mom, this is boring."
I don't want to read that. No, he liked it. He didn't say that. But now he's really into, at the moment, he's into animals. He's so obsessed by animals. He'll tell me about these animals. I'm like, is that an animal? Like, he told me about a bongo. He was like, show me a bongo. And I was like, a drum. And he's like, no, a bongo, an antelope. And I was like, hey,
Wow.
Who told
Does
him
he have that? What's that zoo book called? What is it?
I don't
The one,
know.
the kids' zoo book?
There's these.
I just remember the Hungry Caterpillar.
Yeah,
everyone knows that one.
That's a good one.
That's a classic.
There's this book though, all these books about, like, there's one on spiders, there's one on ants, and like when you read them yourself, you're like, what? I never knew that.
Yeah,
So,
maybe
I'm learning too.
You've got a biologist in the making. Yeah.
Is bedtime reading and bedtime stories part of the routine?
Yeah, bedtime. So bath every night, and then they're allowed to have half an hour of TV, and then we do books.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds like quite a strict regime.
It
I
kind
know
of
you said
is.
you weren't strict earlier, but half an hour.
Oh, I'm a
TV.
little bit. I know.
Half an hour.
Only
I-
30 minutes.
If you give them any more tea, like Gigi doesn't even watch TV, she kind of just wanders around. But T, he'd watch it all day. But if he gets too much TV, he turns into an absolute nightmare.
Oh, really?
Really?
I don't know what it is. It's like overstimulation or something like that. But yeah, he's awful. So we've had to limit it.
It's probably a good thing to have a sort of place where they do it instead of, taking it around on the iPad everywhere and having it wherever you go.
Oh, well, he has an iPad when he travels. When he can watch as much as he wants when he travels.
yeah.
And he loves when he knows we're going on the plane. He's like,
Great.
What are the go-to kids shows these days? Because I think I'm out of touch with that.
T's more into the Disney Channel, so he watches everything on
okay.
that. He's watching something called Dino Ranch at the moment that he absolutely
Amazing.
loves. But it was great when he got into the Disney movies because we'd sit there and watch them. But then when you want to watch Frozen for the 90th time, I'm like, I can't.
Can't do this anymore.
Have you seen the live show?
Yes,
It's good, isn't it?
It's really good.
Everyone's really into this live
It's
show.
pretty great.
Really good. And T, who is like, he's only just turned 3. He was fascinated by the whole thing.
Really?
Yeah, loved
oh,
it.
They know what they're doing, don't
It's
they?
pretty
And
magical.
that girl is amazing. That Elsa.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
I'm not ashamed to say that myself and Naomi, the producer, had a long text conversation about the show once we'd both seen it. And
It's so
we were
good,
raving about it. We loved it.
It
I
is
used to see
brilliant.
it. I've seen the one advertised with the one they do on ice because they do Frozen on ice now as well, don't they?
Yeah, I can't really get behind the on ice
No,
thing.
okay.
No, I'd rather be
It scares me.
There's something about the theatre though, going and sitting there and watching it. It's so nice. I'm going to do Mary Poppins next with him, I think.
That'd be great.
And Alexander Burke's doing some panto I saw at Christmas.
Okay, great.
That's going to be a good one.
You
I'm
are very
against that.
organised because you're already thinking about pantomime at Christmas.
I have bought, so in Ireland, I bought, my nanny used to buy us the pantomime tickets for all of us. That was our Christmas present. And I bought them this year and everyone was complaining because the seats were crap. And I was like, okay, I tried to get the ones, but they were sold out. So I got in contact with the PR and I was like, as soon as these go on sale, please can I buy this box and this box, the ones that my nanny used to buy. So I've already got them. I got home and I saw the panto tickets sitting there. I'm like,
So well
sorted.
Wow.
I know.
How are the kids in the theatre? Are they good? Do this like? Do they?
Oh, T will
are they
sit there
gross?
and do anything. Yeah, he'll love it. I didn't take Gigi.
Yeah,
Well,
probably
because I saw a family photo recently, and you were all posed perfectly in place, but it didn't look like it looked like it was the most peaceful like posing by a family ever. And I'm like, is that actually the reality of it? And
No.
if not, I need some tips because I've got a friend who's had a couple, and he's got this little baby, and he does not work the camera yet. I say.
Oh, it's really a bribery. T, you can bribe T with anything, but that's unusual. That probably was that the hello pictures.
It was on your Instagram, and you was like a full family photo.
I
and
think that
thought,
would have been hello, and like Gigi was horrific that day.
Oh, really?
Honestly, I was like, after half an hour, I was like, she has to go. She's going swimming now. But that was it. We actually got everything. But yeah, no, they're not always like that.
What are you bribing the kids with? Is it like a confectionery related bribe or something behind the camera? with a
Anything.
silly
Actually, a
face?
candy kitten. I feel like they're slightly more healthy.
very on brand.
I know.
Friend
But you
of the
know what the
family.
thing is? Jamie actually hasn't even sent us them. It's actually
Oh my
through
gosh.
it's through that app. If you pay a certain amount, they send you. And I look in my cupboard, I've got this huge box of them, and I'm like, how much stuff am I ordering on that? Just go to the shop.
Does Uncle Jamie, is he an uncle to the family? Is he godfather at all?
Jamie is Gigi's godfather.
Yeah.
So-
I imagine I've met Jamie a few times. We've worked together a few times on podcasts. He's absolutely bonkers. I imagine he is
so
fun
funny.
uncle.
He's
like
Jamie
cool auntie, fun
is-
uncle.
He's so funny in real
he?
life.
Yeah,
He's
he's
really. We always slag him about his Instagram, but like in real life, he is so hilarious. And he comes over to the kids. He's lovely. He came out at Easter and he brought like so much chocolate and sweets for them.
Yeah.
Actually, no candy kittens.
No
Weirdly
candy
enough, I
kittens.
was like,
Okay.
"You're bringing me a Percy pig."
That's your competition.
I know, but no, he's great. Jamie's really great.
Wow, so he's buying the kids' affection, basically.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the way to
It's the
do
best
it, really,
way
isn't
to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we like to ask our guests. You said you have an open door at your house. You always have people coming in and out. But who's your 3 ideal top guests you can have over for dinner?
Ooh, 3 ideal top guests. I kind of love Kim Kardashian. I can't. Yeah, I love Kim Kardashian. I think she'd be, actually, no, she might be a bit dull for dinner,
Okay.
but I do love her. But I don't want her over for dinner.
Guitar is incredible. Love Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, and then
No,
I was
maybe not.
thinking, I was like, oh, I don't know, actually. I think my top 3 guests would be Tina Turner.
Oh, yes.
Great.
Great choice.
Yeah.
Tina Turner. Who else?
Maybe someone to look after the kids?
What's her name?
Super
Jo
nanny?
Frost, nanny, super nanny.
Super nanny.
No, definitely Tina Turner. Who else would be good crack? Bill Murray's meant to be great crack.
Yeah,
I've
Great
heard that.
shout.
Like, isn't that weird that you've just heard that about somebody you've never met before?
Yeah, but he is in comedy and has been for years,
Yeah.
I imagine.
And then a good comedian, maybe like Peter Kay or something. Like, obviously Joanne's an amazing comedian, but I see her anyway. So maybe Peter Kay.
Yeah, great.
And
a
he's
good
making
trio.
a comeback.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you, I mean, if, as a fan of Kim, if she's not suitable for dinner, maybe play date with the kids?
play date with Kim because she'd have loads of help as well. I think they have a nanny per child.
Really?
Stunning.
Wow.
What a dream.
She's doing something right. Yeah.
That's so good. Well, we do like to challenge all of our guests on this podcast. And we have an arty challenge, actually, in which we need your help. So we're very inspired by your wonderful lobster piece within your house. And so George is very nervous about this. I would like you to judge our art skills. Neither of us are artists. Would you say you're an artist, George?
No.
No. And however, you know
are
your
today.
art inside out. So just to you said, George, if you want to have a little look, there's some clipboards down there and some pens.
I can't see them, to be honest, Ariel.
Yeah, come on.
A lobster's not an easy thing to draw.
No, it's not. I don't know what a lobster
No.
looks like.
No.
Oh, you have to try and just imagine it.
Yeah,
Oh,
we've not
I
even got any
can't imagine
inspo.
it.
He's
I own
already
it.
like trying to be hesitant about this thing. So would we have a timer? Should we do like a timer for 30 seconds?
No, let's not add to the stress.
Okay.
30 seconds. Well, you've got the red pen, so you're
Yeah, I know, I
closer to a
deliberately
lobster.
chose that as well.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. So I'm relying on someone to give us a 30-second clock. We're going to go in 3, 2, 1. Draw your lobster.
Uh-oh.
I just want to remind you that my name is Ariel and I grew up thinking that I was a mermaid, so I'm well versed in shell life. Right, okay, shall we reveal it? 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Do you feel like you're in primary school judging a child's art at nursery?
You had 30 seconds. Honestly, I don't think I'd be able to do either of them in 30
Really?
seconds. Yeah.
Get in.
Okay.
I actually think they're all right.
You're delaying,
that
Vogue, is what I'm saying here. You're delaying making your
We both
decision.
managed to get an eye or two in.
Okay, I have
Antennae.
to...
Why is your claws floating?
Because they just thought I'd make it a bit more
Ariel,
3D.
I love you and you know I do, but that kind of looks like a caterpillar.
What?
It looks a bit like a caterpillar.
Shell
Millipede.
thing at the end. Still got his like claws. I'm going to do that then. Fill in.
Almost. I would have to say, I think that your lobster wins.
Does it?
Hey, well
Okay,
done.
well, I'm going to do...
I mean, that looks
And
like
you
a
were-
scarab beetle, but fine, whatever.
I know, but yours kind of looks like a cute little caterpillar.
Yeah, I
Now,
like mine.
Vogue, I know how much you love your art.
Yeah.
And I saw some empty spaces on your wall
Always
as well.
an empty space for you.
So what I'm going to do here, give that a
Fantastic.
quick sign. There we go.
what?
And just treasure that.
Oh, fantastic.
You're welcome.
That's great.
That's going to be worth a lot
I'll
of
put
money.
that down.
Definitely
in the
did have an
toilet somewhere.
advantage there with the red pen, but we won't get into
Yeah, I
that
think
anymore.
you did, but maybe the red pen did help.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
You're very
Lovely,
good at
thank
tidying
you.
away,
Yes,
George.
yes,
you would
I
do
am.
well in nursery and school. Okay. Now, we do I like to have our guests bring a item or something special then from their home.
Now, I would like to say I did not get much sleep last night. So I have brought Otto.
I mean, to be fair, special and meaningful, tick, tick. I want to know where you got Otto's name from.
Well, Spencer's concocted this big lie that's not true.
Right.
Because he's like, no, we got his name because I speak Italian and my favorite number is 8 and Italian is Ocho. And I'm like, that's not what happened. No, that is so far-fetched.
Good story, though, isn't it?
He honestly believes it. I'm like, that's not true. That is not true. We heard this guy had his son is called Otto, but spending out. We don't know him. We don't even hang out with him. But that's where we got it from. Definitely. And it's like, but like Gigi, my auntie had a dog called Gigi for 17 years. I know. And Spenny's like, that's not where we got the name. I'm like, where do you think I heard the name? I was like, it's pre Gigi Hadid. So it wasn't Gigi Hadid. It was Gigi, my auntie's dog.
What's his what does he think? Where does he think Gigi came from?
I don't know. He probably thinks he made it up himself.
Didn't
Theodore?
He didn't. Theodore, we just loved that name from the start.
Yeah.
Because both of us I wanted to call Theodore Frederick because that's my dad's name and my brother's name. But Spenny didn't love that as a first name. Okay. And so we both loved Theodore. We were going to call him Teddy, but we didn't in the end.
Okay.
I'm trying to get him to change it now. I'm like, we'll call you Teddy as a nickname.
It's very sweet.
I quite like
Were there
that.
ever any arguments about the naming, or was it fairly unanimous in terms of what you agreed on?
You know, we're quite good with it. We both, I'd say with Theodore, there was the only slight little arguments about it, but not really. We kind of like decide together, and that's what we like. I like to go a little bit further out there. I probably would have chucked in a river or something like that. And he was like, not doing a river.
Yeah, you save the arguments until after you've named the babies when it's about where these names actually came from.
Well, we do always like to ask our guests what their house rules are. So do you have any rules of the house? And have you ever argued about that?
I'll tell you what, my sister lives with me, right? She's always lived with me, and she lives in my place in Dublin, and she honestly rules the roost over there. Like and I'm like, it's like, but anyway, we just have to follow her rules. One rule is I do have white carpets everywhere in the house in Dublin.
Okay.
And so there's no shoes upstairs.
Okay.
But my auntie took real offense to that and just like wandered up in her shoes anyway. Yeah.
Get out.
Oh my gosh. Take my shoes
Rebel
off.
auntie.
I know. Our house in London rules, we don't have very many rules. I would say just take out the bins when they're full. Like my little brother, that's usually his job.
Yeah.
And he's kind of been slacking on it.
Okay.
So I'm like, take out the bins.
Now, there is just one more question that we would like to ask. And we ask every guest on the podcast, and it's what home means to you.
Home to me, I have to say, is Ireland. It is Ireland.
Is it?
It's funny though, because I was over there with my friends. I was like, oh, I've got to go home tomorrow. And they're like, why are you calling London home? I was like, I don't know. I was like, because it's not my home. But I do have a very homey vibe in London as well. But like when I think of home, I'm like, it's Ireland. Yeah. It's like outdoors, it's fresh air, it's being on the cliffs. And that's home.
Beautiful.
Really lovely. Where can everyone keep up to date with everything? Pre-order the book, all of that?
All of that on my Instagram. Always on my Insta.
Yeah. What is it?
Vogue Williams.
Great. Easy.
Yes.
Done. Well, Vogue, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you, Otto, for being
I was just
quiet.
saying, thank you, Otto, for
Did
like
such a
being
good
the
job.
most peaceful, like baby.
Absolute dreamboat. Yeah.
guy.
He can come again.
You
Yeah.
can.
And you can come again anytime. I'll be back.
Thank you,
Vogue.
guys.
Maybe just bring a piece of your art.
Yeah.